Well, hi everyone. Just wanted to take this opportunity to announce MDH Accounting. We've got a new service offering in 2025 in HR services, and this is Nick Hutchinson. And known Nick for a while, and we probably started chatting, 6 months or so ago. Just found, the work that you are doing in the HR space, and then for MDH Accounting, small business clients, we often sort of get queries, or we might be working on someone's payroll and might have a query on award conditions and things like that. So I just thought that was a nice value-added service to our MDH Accounting clients. So great to be able to launch that product. So Nick, maybe just a bit about yourself, your background and stuff like that.
Yep. Thanks, Michael. Really good to be working with the team and bringing, I suppose, the knowledge and the experience that I've developed in the HR space over the last 20 odd years.
20 odd years.
Yeah. Time goes quick. And you're right, it can be a very tricky space to navigate sometimes, especially when it seems like every year there's amendments coming out in regards to the things within the Fair Work Act and even state-based legislations and things like that. Can be often very difficult to navigate your way through that. So we provide a whole range of HR services, right from helping you plan what your next staff member might look like, through to navigating the ER/IR space. So that's award interpretation, or perhaps handling those difficult conversations with employees, maybe when you're looking at downsizing or managing performance and things like that. And making sure that businesses do that in a healthy way for themselves and the employee, but also a way that protects them from risk. I suppose that does it all.
So if we break it down to some nuts and bolts, because HR can be quite a broad umbrella. So I think, as I mentioned at the start, some of the, practical potential linkages or value adds we can have for our clients is in relation to IR advice, industrial relations, or award interpretation. And so one of the the service offerings we're looking to introduce into our collective client bases is like a bit of a health check on
award compliance.
Right award and are they paying the right rates and allowance and stuff like that. Do you want to just talk a couple of examples there maybe? Or?
Yeah, certainly. So that's a really important piece of work for businesses to do now with the change in wage theft laws as of the start of this year. And the key part of that is understanding what particular award might a role sit under, and what classification under that award. And there's generally two types of awards. There's an industry award and an occupational award. And some of the awards out there can be fantastically unique in how they're written. They can include odd terms that are carryovers from 50 years ago, and it's really important that you have somebody that helps firstly understand your business and the roles within your business, and then secondly knowing how to benchmark those roles correctly against an award, so that you understand what is the employee actually entitled to, and then you reduce that risk of underpayment for the employee.
Maybe unpack a bit more about that wage theft legislation that's just come into force. It's quite could be quite impactful for small business owners.
Yeah, certainly. So the key thing about the wage theft laws is business owners who intentionally make decisions that result in an employee not receiving what they're due when they're due it, under an award or the National Employment Standards. There's fines up to $1.5 million. There's jail terms involved. So it's quite, it's pretty significant.
Yeah, it is.
The key part there is businesses intentionally making decisions to underpay an employee, and that can be as simple as recognising that every award just about has a clause for overtime, paying your employees at an award rate and choosing not to pay overtime. Something as simple as that.
And so that's why we've been wanting to provide a health check service. So probably two ways for MDH Accounting clients. So some will be organic, where Kim or someone like that might be doing a payroll for someone, or you've got a payroll query, and then she's now can rely on Nick just to bounce stuff off or double check what conditions apply in that sort of scenario.
Yep.
And the second one, we're a more proactive arrangement where for like a initial health check, we'll provide information as a bundled service that someone can have your expertise come in, effectively do a higher level desktop.
Ask a lot of questions.
So that'll be probably two aspects. One is purely as a subset would be like, can you review, am I paying the right amount under the award?
Yeah, so that award compliance
stuff. And then maybe you can talk about as another offering as a sort of a health check, you've got a more comprehensive HR sort of audit, or for want of a better word, or overview.
And that's actually what I'm here today with one of your staff members doing, going through that HR audit. There's a whole range of questions within the audit that looks at legislative compliance, so how your business complies, how well it knows that it's complying with legislation, your recruitment and onboarding processes, your policy suite, how useful and applicable that is, the tools that you use to manage your HR software, what you do in regards to performance and engagement and development of your staff. So it's quite a detailed process. Normally takes about 2 hours to ask the questions initially, and then after that there's always further questions where I might say, can you send me a copy of your employment contract, and I'll have a look through that. And often employers might have pulled something from somewhere on the internet, which is okay, it's better than nothing, but there's some key terms in employment contracts, for example, that really provide business protection, especially in regards to award compliance and wage theft, and making sure you've got those well written in the contract is a great example.
So that sort of covers, I suppose, some initial health check options that we're providing, as well as reactive to specific questions that might come through one of our staff, and we're trying to make it as seamless as possible. So Nick's got an MDH Accounting email address and available from sort of internal staff, as well as people can sort of reach him directly through the service offering. So cover that more comprehensive HR audit. We've got the award compliance check and wage theft. The other common sort of question when I talk to small business owners is finding
good talent
and staff. And so what we thought maybe as an introduction, because we're not going full on as a recruitment company as such. There's
great tools out there for businesses to do that themselves.
That's right. And as you said to me the other day, it's more like, okay, how do you go writing up a draft job ad?
Job description.
PD.
Where do you decide?
Decide what market rate is for.
That's right.
And stuff like that.
And also, what's the best strategy to try and attract the candidate that you're looking for? Do you advertise in the newspaper, which very few people do anymore, or do you go to somewhere like Seek, or do you use just a headhunting organisation? There's a whole range of different ways to try and identify the right people. And the recruitment service I think you're talking about is us giving some advice and helping you package up that starting piece so that you're set on a good path to recruit the talent that you need.
And I was just road testing concept with a small business client the other day, and she said that's great, and then for her it's like the next step is often once you've found the person, just that whole initial onboarding process to make sure they're settled in and sort of inducted properly into the organisation and the values alignment and stuff like that was sort of one of her questions. So I think naturally people, once we sort of have that initial contact about how just a bit of having a sort of expert sort of review from yourself in terms of their recruitment practice is to say, here's some options going forward, or here's the next step once you've found the right person. So
certainly, and that piece of getting somebody started well and moving through that first 6 months, is really important for that long-term retention.
Well, thanks, Nick. I just thought we'd just do a bit of a video clip about the announcement to have MDH HR services through Nick's expertise, and as I said, some of it will just be organic, working almost behind the scenes or assisting staff and coming back to you with individual questions, and then others a bit more proactive for those small business owners who want to de-risk their business from the wage theft legislation or get proactive about looking after their people, finding good people as well.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that, and hopefully you'll be able to utilise Nick's services this year and the year beyond. So thanks for joining us. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.